Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to look at something really fascinating. We're diving into two completely different stories that somehow managed to capture the entire country's attention at the exact same time. Now, on the surface, you couldn't find two things that are more different. But when you put them together, well, they tell us something huge about the world we're living in right now.
It's a good question, right? I mean, really, a politician and a movie star. What's the connection? One works in policy and government, the other in movies and glamour. But it turns out, in this digital world of ours, they were both fighting for the exact same thing, our attention. And that's the one thing that's in short supply.
And these were the battlegrounds. You had hashtag Modi and Assam, which was all about a very specific political event. And then at the same time, you had hashtag KiaraAdvani, which was just a huge celebration of a Bollywood star. You've got two completely different vibes, two totally separate stories, and yet both of them were dominating the national conversation. All right, so let's dig into the political side of things first. How does an official trip by a prime minister turn into this massive viral moment online? So it all started pretty normally, Prime Minister Narendra Modi goes to Assam, there are some inaugurations, some speeches, standard stuff. But then, almost instantly, social media just lit up. What was happening on the ground in one state suddenly became this huge digital event that anyone, anywhere in the country could jump into.
And here's what's so interesting. The trend didn't just blow up because everyone agreed. No way. On one hand, you had supporters who were really excited, saying this was bringing much-needed attention and development to the region. But then on the other hand, critics jumped on that exact same hashtag to question government policies. And it's that clash, that friction, that gave the trend so much power.
At the end of the day, a trend like this doesn't go viral because of facts and figures. It goes viral because of how it makes people feel. You had real pride on one side, just simple curiosity from people trying to figure out what was going on, and then sharp criticism from another. It's that messy, powerful cocktail of emotions all swirling around online that made it absolutely impossible to ignore. So what was the fallout from all this? Well, it was pretty significant. For one, it put a massive national spotlight on Assam. It also let the government's supporters really push their message. But at the same time, it created a huge space for public debate, proving once again that today, political moments are really won and lost online. Okay, so while all of that was going on, let's flip over to the other side of our screens, because at the exact same time, the internet was buzzing about someone completely different and for totally different reasons. See, unlike the political trend, hashtag KiaraAdvani wasn't tied to one big event. This was something else. It was about her entire journey, her career, her movies, her public image. This was a trend built on something more steady, on relevance and a genuine connection she has with her fans. People were really just celebrating her story, her rise in Bollywood, her performances, and the fact that she has this public persona that feels kind of glamorous, but also really down to earth. It wasn't about arguing or debating, it was purely about appreciation. Fans were busy sharing their favorite clips and celebrating her success, and all that positive energy created some serious digital momentum. And that right there is the key difference. While the political trend was powered by conflict and debate, this one was fueled almost entirely by good vibes. Things like aspiration, celebration, and just pure fandom. And let's be honest, that kind of positive energy is super contagious and easy to share, which helps it just spread like wildfire online. And the results for her were just as real, just different. Trending like this makes a star's brand even stronger and keeps them top of mind. It creates massive engagement, but usually without all the negativity that comes with politics. And it sends a clear signal to the industry that this person has a seriously active and loyal community behind them. Okay, so we've got these two huge trends, both driven by very different things. So what's the big picture here? What does it all mean when politics and pop culture are suddenly competing on the exact same stage? So let's just break it down side by side. The driver for one was public debate. For the other, it was pure fandom. The emotion for one was conflict and pride. For the other, it was connection and positivity. One was tied to a specific event. The other was all about a personality. You see, they had completely different ingredients, but they both cooked up the exact same result. They captured the nation's attention. And that really gets to the heart of it. The new currency, the new source of power in our world is attention. It really doesn't matter if you're trying to win an election or sell out a movie theater. If you can grab and hold people's focus, you've got impact. You've got power. So, how do you grab that attention? Simple. through emotion. It doesn't matter if it's anger or pride or admiration. Content that makes us feel something is the content we click on, the content we share. That's pretty much the golden rule of the internet. And this is really the key takeaway from all of this. Even though the reasons they were trending were totally different, the politician and the movie star both succeeded by playing the exact same game. They both tapped into powerful emotions to get their message out there and get people talking. So, after looking at all this, what should we really take away from it? What does this whole moment tell us about the digital world we're scrolling through every single day? Well, it shows us that our shared online space is incredibly diverse, right? It's a place where politics and pop culture aren't just living side by side, they're actively competing. It's a world that runs on emotion, moves at lightning speed, and has a massive influence on, well, pretty much everything. Because at the end of the day, looking at what's trending isn't just about seeing what's popular. It's so much more than that. It's like a real-time snapshot of our collective brain. It's a mirror showing us what a nation of millions of people actually cares about right here, right now. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. I mean, just for a second, think about your own social media feed. What's on it right now? What are the conversations happening? What feelings is it trying to stir up in you? Because whatever is trending in your little corner of the internet, it's telling a story. Not just about the world, but about what matters to you.